I'm one of those people who can watch 20-30 reels in a row and, when closing my phone, remember nothing. We live in a strange paradox. We have access to all the world's knowledge, literally in our pockets. But instead of deeply studying one thing, we jump from article to video to post to meme, scroll. And what scares me the most about all this isn't just the waste of time, but that we forget what we are actually interested in. Algorithms decide what I should want to know. Trends decide what's relevant. And my mind just scrolls and consumes this empty information. And then I thought, what if instead of superficial consumption, I dive deep into some topic, not for a diploma, not for a resume, but simply for myself? I decided to conduct an experiment. Every time my hand reached for my phone, I stopped myself and asked one question. What do I really want to learn today? And so the idea was born to create my own personal curriculum for 2026, which I want to share today. Not as an instruction to do as I do, but as an invitation to think about your own. So here's what I came up with. Some areas are serious, and some are just pure pleasure. Those who aren't new to this channel know that I love studying languages. So the first thing that caught my attention is neurolinguistics. I want to understand how language creates our reality. And neurolinguistics studies exactly that. So I like this book, The Language Instinct by Steven Pinker. It's a fascinating investigation into how we learn to speak. It's a must-read to understand that we all possess the most complex biological software, more powerful than any artificial intelligence. Next, my favorite, Coursera. Coursera is the website that offers free courses from leading universities. And I want to take a course called The Bilingual Brain from the University of Houston. It's a short course about how a second language changed our brain structure. I would recommend Coursera to everyone. It's a wonderful website where you can learn something new absolutely for free. Another book that caught my eye, it's Words Can Change Your Brain by Andrew Newberg. Because, first of all, I strongly agree with this title. It's a book about the neuroscience of positive language and how one word can activate stress or, conversely, calmness. Sounds very interesting, in my opinion. The second topic of my learning plan is Stoicism, ancient wisdom for our modern chaos. When the whole world is shouting about control, career, the future, image, Stoicism says that we should let go of what's not in our control and hold only what's inside us, our thoughts, our reactions, our values. And it's amazed me how such 2,000-year-old ancient wisdom is so relevant in our modern world. I was inspired by the book The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday, which I've already started to read. It contains 365 short reflections for each day with quotes from ancient philosopher and modern commentary. This book is perfect for a morning ritual with a coffee. Then I discover a book that, according to a philosopher, is essential to read if you are interested in Stoicism. It's the personal diary of Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He didn't write this book for the public. He wrote notes just for himself. Next, I found a podcast that I absolutely love. It's called Philosophize This by Stephen West. He has tons of episodes about Stoicism and philosophy in general in very accessible language without academic stress. I also found an amazing website called Open Culture. There's not just philosophy there, but tons of everything in general. And on this website, there are free university lectures on philosophy, including Stoicism. I've already started listening some, and it's really interesting. To all these materials, I wanted to add to my own learning program for Stoicism an evening practice of journaling in style of Marcus Aurelius. I'm very curious to see how this will affect my perception of the world. The third topic is quite unexpected. It's called vibe coding. I'm generally interested in artificial intelligence and new technologies, and I've always wanted to create my own application, simply because I just like to bring my ideas to life. And with this new direction called vibe coding, I can finally realize my plans. I'll be learning vibe coding on YouTube, and first of all, I would like to introduce to my favorite IT blogger, Tina Huang. I really like how she explains such seemingly complex processes in understandable language, specifically for beginners. There are lots of videos on YouTube and I watched several of them. Now I know perfectly where to start and how to move forward. Next, I was impressed by a website like Medium. In Medium, you can just type in hashtag vibe coding and there are tons of articles, not only about how to create an application, but also about the philosophy of development and current topics. I already added to my reading list a lot of articles. Another website, dev.to. This is more of a community platform and there are articles from real developers and just honest conversations about mistakes and processes. Well, and basically, I'll just be using project-based learning, meaning I will learn and Google simultaneously for specific tasks. I'll start, of course, with some of the easiest ideas and gradually make them more and more complex. And who knows, maybe I'll actually create some application. We'll see. Next, languages. I'm studying 2 languages at the moment. First one is Chinese, and I really like Chinese philosophy and art. This time I want to study characters more deeply because in my opinion they contain a visual poem and some story behind it. And also I really like calligraphy. There's some kind of meditation in it, like each stroke is like taking a breath and releasing a control. I won't linger long on my observation, but here are the books I really liked. It's The Way of Chinese Characters by Jianxin Wu. It has complete etymology with pictures and explanations how characters evolved from pictograms and what philosophy stands behind each element. Very interesting. Of course, I will need materials, and buying materials is already a process in itself. It's like I'm becoming some kind of Chinese philosopher. Next one, I really like the application called Scritter. You can practice writing there. And in general, in internet, there are many worksheets that I can download and print and practice. I'll add here another interesting book that intrigued me. It's about Taoism. Why not? The book is called The Tao of Pooh, meaning Taoism through Winnie the Pooh. Sounds strange, but according to Google, it's very easy to read, it's deep and with humor. I am intrigued. Next, we have French, which I'm also slowly learning, but I'm learning French purely for my joy. It brings me pleasure, so I will study it through the same pleasure. French films, fashion, music, and poetry. I already created a list, but it will definitely keep growing in time. The next topic is quite interesting and unexpected, even for me. It's about the star navigation. In a world of GPS and Google Maps, I wanted to return to the most ancient skill, reading the sky. Stars are basically humanity's first map. Before compasses, before satellites, people crossed oceans navigating only by constellations, and the resources are simply incredible. For example, this website Stellarium. Here you can enter your location, date and time and see the night sky without any light pollution. A pure night sky that actually right above you. Next, I like the website from NASA called NASA's Eyes. It has a 3D simulation of the solar system and you can even fly between planets. I think it's just amazing. On YouTube, I found Crash Course Astronomy by Phil Platt. He explains everything in a very fun and scientifically accessible way. It has tons of episodes about everything from constellations to black holes. As for a book, I liked Night Watch, a practical guide to viewing the universe by Terence Dickinson with star maps, tips for beginners. They say it's classic that I absolutely must to read. I also found a free course from Khan Academy called Cosmology and Astronomy. Also free and publicly accessible. I think it's great. Next, please don't laugh, especially male audience. I know your prejudices. I'm interested in tarology. But for me, it's not a fortune telling or magic, but a dialogue with the subconscious. Tarot contains various symbols and archetypes that create universal images. They manifest in our dreams, in our choices, in our behavioral pattern. And that's not my words, that's the Carl Jung words. And first of all, I want to read his book, which is called Man and His Symbols. In this book, he highlights that a person can achieve their wholeness through knowledge and acceptance of their unconscious. There is also a book written by Sally Nichols called Jung and Tarot, an Archetypal Journey. It's about 12 archetypes. The author takes examples from different human cultures like mythology, religion, visual arts, literature, as well as Jung's methods themselves. I definitely need to take an archetype quiz to learn about my dominant archetypes. So in general, I will be studying symbolism. And finally, maybe I will start reading myself and my dreams better. Next, and the last one, it's my biggest interest in life, music. I do music for myself and I really like harmony. And also, I'm just a geek when it comes to music from the 70s, 80s, and from different countries and cultures around the world. It became interesting to me how to reconstruct these songs and make their sound much cleaner. In general, to restore them, so to speak. And for this, I'll just go by intuition. I like to just play around and I never watched any videos. Music for me is an intuitive thing. I don't need anything besides the application for making music and my own feelings. That's where my list ends, and thank you for listening to the end. The most important thing I want to advise is do not turn these topics into obligations. This isn't a checklist, but simply a map of your own possibilities. And there will be some months when you won't study anything, and that's completely normal. And it's also normal to study everything in a row and jump from one topic to another. The main thing is that we study them deeply, not watching for 30 seconds and never remembering it again. I sincerely believe that 2026 is a year of depth and presence instead of consumption, and questions instead of ready answers. Thank you for being with me, and I hope to see you in my next reflections. Goodbye, au revoir, and пока-пока.